Nate Harris is the only Aggie basketball player in history named All-Conference First Team 3 times. Utah State's record was 96-30 his 4 years, and that includes a 55-6 home record. During his career, the Aggies made 4 postseason trips. He was 12th in career scoring with 1,475 points. As a sophomore, he led the nation in shooting, hitting 67.7% of his shots.
So when I got the call that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I was a little bit surprised, maybe mainly because I didn't think I was that old yet. I didn't know if there was a certain time frame that had to pass before you could become eligible. But I was very excited. The recruiting process for Utah State, I joke with Coach Morrill, and I've mentioned this before in a couple other settings, that I think I'll go down as probably the easiest recruit for Coach Morrill in his career. I signed early, or I verbally committed early after my junior year. We were having a summer tournament here at Utah State's camp that they had put on, and I was new to the recruiting process. Coach Baldwin at the time was kind of just explaining to me how things were going to go. I didn't take any visits. We had finished the tournament up here. Coach Morrill had called me in with, at the time, Coach Ray, Coach Verlin, and we were just kind of talking casually. I believe it was Coach Ray that had mentioned, at this time, if you'd like, you can verbally commit. And I said, that sounds great. And they kind of said, oh, are you sure? And I said, absolutely. Coach Morrill stuck his hand out and said, congratulations, you're an Aggie, and that was it. I learned early that Coach Morrill would put me and other players in good situations to score the basketball, and he always, preached, take good shots. And so I really just kind of learned my role early and realized that I didn't have to go out of my way to try to be on my own to score the basketball, and in that system I was put in good situations to get easy baskets, and I took advantage of that. Looking back at the success that we had during my years here at the university, very fortunate and blessed to have the coaching staff that was put together. Coach Morrill always had, of course, himself, and then he was surrounded by great coaches. I mentioned a little bit earlier, but Coach Ray, who's now the head coach, Coach Verlin is now a head coach, Coach Duryea, who I love as a coach, is of course here now, and Coach Dave Rice was there for a year. He's now a head coach. So, and there are others. I'm missing other assistants that were there, but I think it was just a combination of good people, and they recruited good players. The list of names that I played with during my time, as far as being some of the all-time greats, I played with them, and it was just a good time. Playing in the Spectrum is, we all know, it's a special thing. It's a special environment, and we're lucky to have that here. And that game, for whatever reason, we won the game. We were going to go on and play in the postseason tournament, and we had a great team. We went on to play in the NCAA Tournament. But that game in particular, I'm not sure why, I got very emotional. I cried in the locker room afterwards. I think it was just kind of knowing that was the last time I was going to get to experience playing in the Spectrum. Yeah, as far as playing for Coach Morrill specifically, first off, very cool that I get to go in to the Hall of Fame with him at the same time. That's pretty cool. But really, he and I, we were a good fit as far as coach and player is concerned. He held you accountable, which was good for me. Like I mentioned earlier, kind of coming in, I maybe needed to be humbled a little bit, but he also put you in situations to succeed, and he pushed you. Whether you were a redshirt freshman or whether you were the veteran senior of the team, he continued to expect, his expectations were very high, push you to continue to play hard and never be satisfied. So just things like that, being disciplined, hard work, all those type of things, he was a huge part of my success. things that kind of stand out in regards to the postseason tournaments that we were able to go to, that's obviously kind of the goal. You know, everybody wants to get to the NCAA tournament, and we talked about it, wanting to do that. We were in a tough spot early on in my career when we were in the Big West. It was a one bid league. And unfortunately, the one that probably stands out the most is our snub. When my sophomore year, when we were ranked 19th nationally for the final 3 or 4 weeks, got upset in the Big West tournament, and then we didn't get a bid and didn't go to the NCAA tournament. I was able to play in 3 NCAA tournaments. All 3 of them were kind of a different experience. My freshman year, I didn't play a lot in that game, but it was good to experience that. And just to kind of be in that environment. The NCAA tournament is such a huge thing, and we played some really good teams, and we were always, of course, the underdog, and came close a few times and played well. But it's pretty nice to be able to say, yes, I played in 3 NCAA tournaments. My overall experience as a student athlete at Utah State, I couldn't ask for anything better. Being a local kid, grew up here in the Valley, you know, born and raised in Richmond and Smithfield, and being able to play in front of friends and family, have the support of friends and family was very important to me and helped me throughout my playing days, and throughout my educational days and getting my degree. Again, I met my wife here at Utah State, and that has been the perfect situation as well. So definitely a place that I was supposed to be, and everything worked out perfectly.